No, I found out, I found out honestly when I was in the car on my way to the hospital. I overheard my parents talking, and that's when I heard that I was sick. But then when I got to the hospital after a few more exams and tests, the doctors were able to tell me that yes, I had cancer. And when I realized what was actually going on, because I didn't really capture the idea, I didn't really understand what was going on. But when I finally came to the realization that my life was changing drastically, I felt very scared and very upset, very sad because um, I was I was 10 I was and I was on my way to going to middle school. I was playing sports and I didn't want any of that to change. So knowing that I was in a hospital far away from my house, far away from my friends, it was very scary. It was a very drastic change and I wasn't sure what to think of it. I was just scared and not sure, what was going to happen. Um, I had an idea of it. The doctors were able to explain it on a level that I was able to understand it. So I did understand the procedures that were going to be taken and all of the side effects that were going to occur. So I had an idea of what it was, but I didn't comprehend exactly what it was that I had, what that meant, and how it was going to really affect my family.
Ya te das cuenta de lo que tienes y sabes, por lo que le dicen los doctores y tus papás, ¿cuál fue el momento más difícil en el proceso, durante la recuperación y al final?
The most difficult, the most difficult things that in the process was probably not much physically, because physically, yes, it was very hard. It was horrible. The side effects of the treatment of everything, but probably the most hard moments were was mostly emotional for my family, being far away from my home, not being able to go to school, just being having to live a normal life and then just changing it into something that you don't expect a 10-year-old kid to go through. That was very difficult for my family and for me. See, yeah, it was definitely affected throughout the process because nobody really expects to go through something so difficult at a young age, and I'm human just like everyone else, and so definitely through those hard moments, my faith was definitely tested. I wasn't always positive. There was moments where I didn't want to speak to anybody, and I was just very closed-minded and didn't want to know anything because my life was so different than it was before, and I kept on, thinking about that, how why me and all of that. But I didn't always stay like that. I had my family to support me and my friends, and so much people pray for me, and I was able to change my perspective and my view on life. But for sure, it's important that we all, sometimes our faith needs to be tested so that we can get up stronger, and I think that's what happened too. I was very young, so the it was very simple things that I would think of. With chemotherapy, I felt very sick, and I didn't go to school, so I guess that's one of the things that worried me the most with school, because I love school, I love studying. So that was what worried me mostly, just not being able to go to school, not being able to I didn't want to be behind in my academic level with like all of my other friends and students, so I wanted to be up to date with that. So that's probably one of the things that worried me the most. But things that I thought of, things that I would talk to myself was, I tried to be positive, and I tried to not let, all of these negativity thoughts, hit me. I tried to do activities to entertain myself, and I tried to say, I'm gonna get out of this. It's gonna be over soon, and that, there's a better life ahead of you, and that you can't just stay here. Yeah, despite everybody trying to be positive and help me, I could definitely see that they were all affected by everything. My parents, my dad's job, and just knowing that their daughter, was in a hospital, hooked up to a machine. I could understand that it was hard for them, and that's why I was so positive. Sometimes I felt like I couldn't be upset, or I couldn't really cry. I couldn't really feel all of these hard emotions, because if I did feel that, it would affect them even more. So a lot of times I just tried to put a smile on my face and be positive, mostly for them, because I wanted them to know that I was going to be fine, and that I didn't want them to think that I was, in depression with all of that. With my friends, when they came to visit me, I was very blessed to have good friends um, who were there for me, who prayed for me, and who would just talk to me, and they never left my side. Those were the people that I really keep in my heart, that were there for me, and that just understood me completely, that didn't see me as somebody else. They just continued being there, continued being my friend, and that's something that really helped me throughout everything. Um, yes, despite me being so young, death definitely came to my mind, just because of everything that I was going through. There were points where I just didn't want to, continue with the treatment, continue living my life like that, knowing that I could have been living, a great life in school, with sports, with my friends, but instead I was in a hospital. And I just didn't think that was fair. That wasn't a fair life for me, but thankfully I had, Jesus to, just bring that happiness in everything, and just have my family support me, and tell me that, that it was going to get better, and that was my hope. I didn't know if it would be false hope. I didn't know if it was real, but I was just thinking, maybe it is going to get better. Maybe this isn't the life that God planned for me. This is something that I'm going to overcome. But definitely I did think that that maybe I was just going to be able to have lived 11 years of my life, and that's it. My faith at the moment is, I would say, is very strong in God. I don't doubt at all that what I went through, I know He didn't send it, but He did let it happen, and I know that He was with me through it all, even in the moments that I didn't think He was. I know that God was with me, and He gave me so much courage and bravery to be able to overcome what I did. So I know that my faith right now is strong, and that I'm thankful that I'm able to, have that security in my heart, and to have my family with me too, and have all these people support me, and know that what happened, but it's, for a bigger purpose, it's for a bigger planet, and it has made me the person who I am today, and it has made me stronger. Physically, the side effects were quite strong. Chemotherapy is a medicine that it's very strong, because it kills both cancer cells yet and also the good cells. So my defenses were very low to fight back to any diseases, to anything. I was very tired all the time. I was nauseous. I threw up a lot. I had to use the bathroom all the time. So it was definitely draining, just all of that experience. And I would be in the hospital from 4 to 7 days, without going home, just stuck there. So it was very draining. It was very tiring, and just nothing that I would wish for anybody. That was the physical effects of the chemotherapy and of surgeries. Once I had my first surgery done, which was the tibia replacement, it was definitely something that was super new to me, to my body, to my life, to everything. It was something. It was hard for my family, for me. I was stuck in my room for like a long time without really being able to move, because like what they did, the stitches were healing, everything was still very new. So having to learn how to be able to walk to the bathroom, to be able to just do my own stuff without needing help, was really hard for me. It was frustrating, both mentally, physically, emotionally. It was just hard with that, and then the pain that comes with it was unbearable. I still don't remember how I was able to go through and be okay today, because it was really hard. Yeah, the first time I had my surgery, there was a bit of complications with that, but I was able to move forward with it. But the moment that was pretty intense for me was when I fractured it for the first time, because I had to be in a cast for 2 months, and that just, I was thinking, what's going on? I just had surgery. How can I be in a cast right now when I should be doing physical therapy? And that delayed so much. It brought future problems and future complications. So that was a time where I thought, what's going on? After that, I went under a knee manipulation, and the doctor accidentally fractured my femur once more. So having that, having waken up from the anesthesia and just seeing that I was in a cast again was also was very hard for me, just knowing like, wow, I'm gonna be in a cast for 2 more months. That's more therapy that's delayed, and I always thought about school, and just I wanted to go back to school, so that was hard for me too. And then the last time was when I was in Disney that I had an accident, and I broke my femur completely. I was taken to the hospital, and from the Orlando hospital in a helicopter to Miami, where I had another surgery. And at this moment, I was just thinking, like, you know, what is my life right now? Like, what am I living? Because honestly, all I could think about was the pain. I couldn't think like, why can't I be in school? Why can't I be like everybody else? Like, what's my life right now? It's practically just pain. That's all I'm living. So it was really hard for me. Yeah. When I was in the hospital, like I said, there were very difficult and traumatic moments for me, for my family and for everyone. But the fact that I was able to stay positive through it all, and to have that support, and just know that that there was somebody bigger out there that was holding my hand, that God was, you know, taking care of me. And so the verse that is in the back, it's Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you future and a hope." And that was the verse that stood out to me, and that really impacted my life and helped me move forward, thinking, you know, I'm not going to stay here, because God's plans are greater than what I can see. Like, obviously there was an obstacle, there was a mountain that I thought I wasn't going to be able to overcome, but I'm here today. And so I'm saying, you know, it was all worth it. It was all worth, you know, being positive, being brave, having that support. It was really important for me, and just knowing that that it was going to be over, and that, you know, you always had to have a different perspective, not see what was in front of you at the moment, but to just, you know, see something greater. That verse really helped me. Yeah. Okay.